Greetings, I'm John the Verbose, and this video is my YouTube Pagan Challenge video for week 42 on do you work with the deceased or ancestors? That's not something that I incorporate into my practice on a regular basis, though at home I do have an altar on a bookshelf dedicated to my ancestors. So it has some small things that I've inherited. My main altar has actually been in my family for several generations, to say the least. 3, 4, something. I should know better. But same with some of the things that are on my ancestor altar. I have received them as well. And then I do have, well, one of them is a Zuni Kachina doll with the sun face deity, and my Native American ancestry isn't Zuni, and I know the Zuni aren't Navajo, but my grandparents, the ones that do have some Native American ancestry, they had a lot of friends in the Arizona Navajo community, and I know that my grandpa even had a Zuni sunface bolo tie that he wore, and I believe my dad still has that. But the sunface Kachina is like, that's the exact face that my grandpa had on his bolo tie, and so that was gifted to me by Jake with the Dancing Waters Protogrove of ADF, and so it's a very welcome gift, and it was so serendipitous that it had that sun-faced likeness on it. So it's very special to me. So my altar also has some old books that were passed down. It has my great-grandmother's Bible, and that has some of our family tree written into it, though we know much more of our family tree now than what was just written down. And I think it's interesting that it's written in 3 languages, in English, Low German, and Russian. And because my ancestors on that side of the family, they were Mennonites that had come from the Low Countries. They were actually Belgian and perhaps Dutch, and they called themselves German. But of course, what language do the Germans speak today? Deutsch, which literally means Dutch. And so they spoke a dialect of Low German called Plautitsch. And it's a distinct language in itself. Like if you put it side by side, regular High German, you wouldn't even be able to understand. It's like they are 2 different languages. I also have a 1905 Ansonia clock that was made in New York, though my understanding is that it was my great-great-grandfathers when they lived in the Russian Empire during the time of Tsar Nicholas II, and then I think pioneering lands opened up in the eastern frontier, which at the time the name for that geographical area was called Turkestan, but these days that region is better known as Uzbekistan and Western Kyrgyzstan. Anyway, it's at some point they emigrated to the United States and they brought the Ansonia clock back with them, and it's kind of made its full circle around the world. And then I also have, it's either 2 or 3 great-great-great-grandfather. He had a coin purse, and in that coin purse were some really old coins, and I have the wedding rings of my great-grandfather and his first wife, and also in that coin pouch is a silk thread, and that silk thread, according to our family lore, is a thread from an imperial Russian flag at the Winter Palace that was being decommissioned. So wherever it is my ancestors are right now, I generally tend to leave them alone. When I had my vision quest, to say, for lack of a better term, to find my spirit animal. I actually had an unexpected encounter with several generations of my ancestors, and it was just a meditation that I put myself into, and there they were, out of the blue. And so I think I mentioned that in a earlier video. But anyway, that's really all I have to say on this topic. So thank you for watching my video, and we will see you next week.